see the showcase, and I haven't had the chance to look at most of the maps. So I'm very excited to see, especially knowing that Ding was I'd say a little bit controversial.
Yeah, just a tiny bit. There was minimal amounts of complaints.
I wish I would have been there.
Yeah.
What kind of a map is it?
I mean, being AR8 hidden, obviously the nature of it is having that higher object density and making it hard to read, but then it's very rhythmic. So a lot of the patterns are spaced like they are like a normal flowing map, but then you have to like pause and wait for the next note, and it just makes it, some of the patterns are quite hard to read. The main controversy was there's a couple of patterns in the map which for sight reading is very, very hard. You have to be very comfortable with AR8 hidden to sight read it. So there was this huge complaint that it was a memory map. And well, I think with a bit of practice,
I
you
don't
can get it
even
done.
personally feel like there's necessarily anything wrong with a memory map necessarily. That might be just my personal opinion.
I think I share the same opinion. I think for a tournament map pool, the point is to practice. So
you have a week. It's not like it's not like it's thrown at you out of the blue.
It's not sight read tourney, right? It's practice and then play. So what's wrong with having a map which might take a couple of tries to get the rhythms and patterns down?
If I would apply that to my own tournament play, I have flashlight. I think I've never FC'd anything in 10 years with flashlight outside of maybe some easy map because my memory is just the absolute worst. But still, that doesn't change the fact that I feel like it should just be okay. Wow, those are some spicy streams.
The bomber is gone. Vinx is
all right, it looks like Mr. Forrest is going to be joining you.
Ah, he's alive.
Yes, he is actually alive. He's risen from the dead. I'll be taking my leave.
Oh, thanks for filling in, Happy Sick.
See you around.
See you later. And hello, Foz.
Hello, how are you, Bay?
I am good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm also
managed to turn up today.
Oh yeah.
Nothing like turning up late to work.
Way too long yesterday. Holy. And 3 AM map pooling is not a good idea when you have to finish a pool.
Well, seeing as I've got you here and you're talking about pool, why don't we just reveal it now? Let's just get it over and done with.
Oh yeah. So Big Black is gonna be the tiebreaker for this week.
Nice. Yeah, good map. Good map.
On Hard Rock, that's a new rule change for the first mod.
Oh, Hard Rock tiebreaker. Interesting choice.
Yeah, it's something spicy to change because we figured, hey, it's whatever. I mean, things will have to change.
I'm sure we'll get zero complaints about that.
Yeah.
Big Black Hard Rock tiebreaker. That's just a solid pick. I don't think you can have any issues with that. Yeah, good to have you here, man. I hope that you're as hyped as I am for this weekend's set of matches.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of matches, and it's gonna be an even harder pool as last week. And hopefully, we'll see some really cool. I mean, just look at this match right now. We have Hong Kong versus Taiwan. Some people might have not expected Hong Kong to actually get this far as being an unseeded team, but it happened, and we'll have to roll with it. And we'll see how far they get. But this is a tough opponent with Taiwan.
Yeah, I think we've seen a lot of teams underperform and also overperform. Hong Kong, one of those that you would think has potentially overperformed here, but actually this is just a really solid roster. Players like Chaos Litz have proved that they're amongst the best. His tournament consistency so far has been absolutely nuts. And he's backed up by a very solid roster. Gibbs, Nanako, MCY, all these players, really solid consistency players, which is really crucial for doing well in tournaments.
Yeah, if you just think about it, like the amount of really good performances Chaos Litz has brought out, it's absolutely insane. Last round was actually also pretty hard to begin with, where some maps, if you get an FC, you can almost solo carry or get a really huge point lead compared to other teams. And one of those maps was the alternate map last week, and he actually just 2x100 or 3x100. And that was, I think, the best performance on that map. And on group stage, he has so many maps. Like Chaos Litz is a really, really good player, and that's gonna help them out this time around as well. But now this is gonna be a huge but, because Taiwan, getting this far, they are also not really that bad. I mean, they have so many really good players as well. Flask and RZA, for example, are also gonna destroy on some of these maps.
Yeah, that Taiwan roster is, as you mentioned, super scary. They are the 7th seeded team in the tournament. You know, they're no pushover. I think they had a really good chance of making it very far, but a lot of stuff's happened. As I mentioned to Happy Stick a bit earlier, and I'm not sure if you've done your... I assume you've done your research, but you know this is a repeat of a group stage match which happened. And that group was the France group, so it's been a super interesting progress with both of these teams. Hong Kong managed to top that group despite losing to Taiwan in groups. So on the easier map pool, you know, Taiwan comes out on top, but as you mentioned, the map pool's getting harder, and having these better combos is having such a big impact. Is that, does the favor now swap over to Hong Kong or not?
Yeah, over time, it's gonna be really important to see how many Chaos Lids do you have on your team. Well, Hong Kong obviously only has one. They also have other good players who are gonna hopefully show up today. But Hong Kong needs a really good performance to take this one convincingly. Also, I see another really good quality warm-up. I love it.
Yeah, I believe this is the Taiwanese warm-up. A Flask map. I gotta love. There's been a lot of warm-ups been picked that are mappers of the players in the tournament. As we just saw a Binxus warm-up, and now we're seeing a Flask warm-up. Getting that exposure out there.
Oh, wait, that was it? Alright, that is a pretty short warm-up, I see.
I guess I just want to get into the match. And that's where we're going to head.
I mean, sometimes quick and painless is going to be the best way to go about these warm-ups.
Alright, time for the rolls. And they are some low ones. Skids for Hong Kong is going to roll 49. Sheena Narika rolling a 9 for Taiwan. Hong Kong will win the roll, which means first ban will be selected by Taiwan. Where do you think these teams go? As we can see from the map pool list in front of you, we have an extra no mod map this week. And as I mentioned earlier as well, best of 13 is this match. So first to 7 teams requiring that extra point to progress.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to predict a ban because these teams are a little bit similar in some aspects. Alright, it's gonna be a Daisuke ban for Taiwan. That one makes sense because Daisuke is one of the gimmick maps in Nomad. And if Taiwan feels like they are just better overall, I think Taiwan is gonna be the stronger team. Daisuke just being that gimmick pick might give Hong Kong too much of an option. And Hong Kong might just pick something difficult. It's Mirage Coordinator. It's alright. If they feel like they're gonna lose on it, I'm not entirely sure. Like, it could have been really anything they would ban.
I think you're right. This matchup on paper is very close. I think they have a large amount of overlapping skill sets. I think Taiwan might come out on top on Hidden. Like the only mod category I think where there's a significant advantage, and maybe Hong Kong on no mod.
Yeah, on the side of Hong Kong's ban, it could have really been anything they would ban. I'm not like, there's no right or wrong choice here because you don't know how well Taiwan performs on these maps, but you know how good Hong Kong is gonna perform. Like, you know how good your team is gonna perform. But in the end, it might perform better than Taiwan on some of the picks, but you don't know. So they just have to take a shot in the dark and say, I don't like this map, we don't like this map, let's just not pick it. And they actually are going for Ding. That's another gimmick map. Alright.
Okay.
Is this how it's gonna start, really?
I was gonna say, speaking of shots in the dark, you know what didn't get banned? It's the thing. And they're gonna go straight for it.
Oh my god. They didn't even give me time. They just went for it.
God, this is a great way to start semi-finals weekend with the most controversial map in the pool. Seeing as you were part of the elite team pause that selected the map, why don't you tell us a bit about Ding?
Yeah, it's a map.
Great, that's all we have time for. See you guys next week. Bye.
It's definitely a map, and from all of the maps and O's, it's one of them, right? That's the only thing I believe I can really say about this without my own opinion showing up. No, but well, the thing is, yeah, as you said, it's one of the shot in the dark, just gimmick maps in there, and this one just requires a lot of practice. It's a map by Dermok, and it's a ranked map from Dermok. Guess difficulty, but it is a Dermok map, which is something you don't really see that often. Dermok is a unranked mapper who has really weird gimmick and low approach rate and reading maps in general. So literally everything is awkward and reading heavy if you play it. But this one is something else. It does require a little bit of practice because you have some patterns which pretty much are the same as imagine just a bunch of lines of notes, but the timing is almost changing constantly. And you need to listen to the singer's voice to properly time it, and that's gonna be a huge problem here. Like if you don't know the rhythm, or if you just didn't practice it, you're not gonna have a fun time.
Yeah, obviously being AR hidden makes it just all that bit harder. Object density going to be really high. But I just don't know how players are going to perform on this. I haven't been tracking many of the players in terms of just watching their progress or seeing anything about the scores they've been posting on this. Generally, the leaderboard is flooded with players who are, this is their skill set, AR8 hidden, low approach rate maps. These are these guys' bread and butter. But Hong Kong obviously feeling confident. I'm just wondering how Taiwan feel.
I mean, this is definitely a map where you have a chance to win against Taiwan. But, man, well, they definitely did not pull any punches when it comes to gimmick maps and just completely easily taking it. Well, this map is, as you can see down below, it's 117 ppm, but it's halved, so you just double it, so it's 234 in essence, which is in a BPM range where you can just single tap it.
Alright, this is super comfortable in terms of tapping, I would say. Like there's no real limitations on the player in terms of speed. It's just that reading element which is going to crush them.
Yeah, if you just look at the map, it's not that hard or demanding mechanically, but it is going to be demanding in terms of rhythm and reading.
And we've already seen misses across the board. Taiwan having the much better start though, only the one break on Dazzle win so far. While Saku holding strong for Hong Kong. And there goes Sheena. We're going to see breaks throughout this entire map. It's fairly long, 3 minutes long. And I would think that these early misses might not be a huge factor in the result of the match, but Taiwan are looking kind of comfortable. GFMRT and Flask looks like they've done their practice.
Well, I wouldn't give any team the advantage just yet, because there are just so many misses all around. Chaoslitz and Nanako both missing, and I guess it's actually the only one holding, while Saku's the only C on the Hong Kong side. Flask is holding an FC on the Taiwanese side, and GFMRT also. So in essence, this is gonna be tough, and we do have the really hard part right now, but everyone holding except for a few people, but the important part are the combos, and gets missed being one of the highest combos on the Hong Kong side.
Yeah, it's currently Saku really going up against GFMRT and Flask. These three players, the only 4 combos left, as we're past the halfway mark now. But it's the accuracy that's giving Hong Kong the lead here. See Dazzle win down at 83%, and that is really tanking his score. The guy hasn't even got 100,000 points.
Yeah, that's he doesn't have too much fun when playing this one. That's definitely something you can say.
Makes you wonder why they've put him in. Is there really no one else on that Taiwanese roster that can do better than this? Potentially not. Maybe they're just hoping he can hold a combo. Accuracy, maybe not their strong suit on this one. There goes Flask. There goes a full combo for Taiwan. The score is pretty close, but I think we'll slowly start to see it pull ahead for Hong Kong now with that break. Saku just needs to hold on into this final section.
The accuracy alone is gonna give them so much. Also, Chaos Lid's helping out and Gits both trying their best to help out, while Saku is just holding so strong.
This is some seriously decent accuracy as well, 98%. This is a really good performance. This would be leaderboard quality if he could finish out this FC.
We're pretty much just a repeat of some patterns. And that's actually gonna be an FC by Saku with a really good accuracy. Yeah, he prepared, he practiced this one, that's for sure.
Solid effort from some of the Taiwan players as well. GFMRT with a full combo as well. Double full combo on a map like this is really impressive stuff and should definitely be commended highly. But it is the first point for Hong Kong. The pick does work out for them. Over across the board, they were just a bit better. And actually, that's all that mattered in this one. First point, Hong Kong.
That's absolutely disgusting. I mean, what else do I expect when people pick Ting for the first map in the match? Oh, well, this is gonna set the tone for the weekend. I like it.
I was hoping to see it this match. I just don't expect it to be the first pick. I think they did it because Saku was feeling so confident. I think, first map, your nerves are at the highest. And if you're feeling confident on a map like this, your opponents may not be prepared for you to pick it first. Like, who in their right mind picks this map first? Like, come on, that's absolutely crazy. I think that accuracy from Saku might have been maybe the 4th highest hidden accuracy on the map of all time. Hidden enemy, of course.
So
yeah.
Slide accuracy also taken into account. That's a pretty good accuracy. Might be a bit high on Scully 1.
Yeah, really good start. Coming out confident from Hong Kong. And it's Taiwan's pick then.
Alright, so Taiwan might just pick something difficult, and this is, you can't go, well, this is just the most mechanically demanding map.
Yeah, the raw aim coming in here. 6.81 stars into Shintaron. The last map.
That's the map cut. I think we had a last map in every single pool until now.
Was there one in group stages?
That might be the only time we didn't have a last map, but we do have a lot of last maps.
I know we're on 3. These are the most popular mappers so far, I believe.
Yeah, and the funny thing is we don't even try. We just find maps which fit, and that's it.
Guy just makes good maps.
Yes, it's a pretty diverse mapper, and I mean, you can get a lot of interesting maps. I mean, when he has stuff like this and then he has alternate maps, there's just so much to really choose from. And he also ranks a lot of things. That's also something which helps out a lot. Alright, yeah, but this one being the most mechanically demanding map. 6.8 stars, mostly focus on consistency. It's 4 minutes, as you can see. And it's just about jumps and bursts. The jumps aren't too easy. There are some sections which are definitely hard in terms of patterns, but there's gonna be also a long-ish stream somewhere around the middle to the 3/4 part.
Yeah, it's very different. Shows you a very different pace of map compared to the rest of it. We'll see a lot of difficulty spikes come towards the end of the choruses. And if players make it through that, then they have the incredibly tough vertical jump section right at the end of the map. So I would be surprised to see a full combo, but I also wouldn't be completely unsurprised. And if they do full combo, there's going to be insanely good accuracy from them, I think.
Well, I think the accuracy can definitely drop because of the long stream.
Definitely.
But for people, like for some people, I can expect some really good performance like Rizza and Shield. Tain's also gonna be pretty good on this. Actually, just the whole time on these Ross, I think it was gonna be good.
Very early inconsistency from Chaos Litz, potentially just shaking off the AR8.
Yeah, it's probably not gonna make too much of a big difference because of the length. I'm not expecting a 4-man FC out of any of these two teams.
Break from Riser on the not linear stream pattern into the first jump section. get a couple of breaks. Gids for Hong Kong dropping with GF, MRT and Riser, and then Zayn into the slower part. And Chaos Blitz, just breaks across the board here. Not the kind of consistency I would have expected. Only one FC remains for Taiwan now, and that's on Shield. Or Sakyu and Skyway for Hong Kong.
Still plenty of chances for either way, either team to get back into this game and win the map, because there's just so much time left.
Yeah, and the real hard bit's still to come as well, where a big shift could happen. But right now it's all Hong Kong. Sakyu, double S. Into the second chorus we go. And there goes Shield's full combo. No full combos left for Taiwan. Or 2 for Hong Kong. They can hold through this section. They're going to give themselves such a score advantage.
While on paper it looked like a good pick, the execution just isn't there for the Taiwanese side.
Into the solo. And the screen part, I mentioned this long screen coming up, will be make or break, I think, for Hong Kong here.
Yeah, if they pass this one, it's just gonna be a bunch of combo. Oh, this Saku's losing a lot of accuracy.
Dies waves as well, but they both hold the combo.
No one lost this combo on the left side. Oh, that's bad for Taiwan.
Yeah, 400,000 in climbing. This Hong Kong lead now getting almost insurmountable. Looking like an early backfire from Taiwan. Also, Gibbs and Chaos Lots have Chaos Lit, sorry, have recovered their combo as well, both at 700. Taiwan is just lacking combos. Only Riser has something above 500 right now.
Yeah, but Chaos Lit at least has a really good accuracy, despite him not having the highest combo, and that's why he still uses a lot of points to his team.
You see Sky's way break, but Saku's still going. 700,000 now. It's looking like Hong Kong's the final jump section up and down. Can Saku get through? He can.
Saku is holding strong.
This is a really impressive performance from him.
She is trying his best, but there's just no combos really left on his team, and the score advantage is too much in Hong Kong's favor.
3 players get through the vertical jumps, but it's all eyes on Saku to lock out this full combo.
Oh, unlucky last second miss for a shield and Zayn, but it's still a 1 million difference in just performance. Wow. The execution wasn't there for the Taiwanese side when Saku just exists. I mean, that's the only thing I can say about this Hong Kong side. They all played pretty well, and Saku getting the FC. That's a solid lead.
Yeah, this is a super big backfire. Taiwan didn't have only had one player beat one of the Hong Kong players with yeah, just a huge lack of judgment, and Hong Kong now have a 2-point lead.
I wouldn't say it's a lack of judgment. In theory, it is a good pick, but maybe it's just a bad day for them. Maybe their practice days before it were pretty good. Maybe they got like 2 FCs every time they played it, but now they just fell apart. There might be a bunch of reasons, but in theory, I think it wasn't too bad of a pick. Alright, also Hong Kong just performed really well. I mean, that's just a solid performance. Hong Kong, I don't think they're gonna run with it and say, I guess we're better on consistency maps, that's a big full moon. I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. It sounds very, very unlikely.
Do you think based off the AR8 hidden performance, they might look for the AR8 free mod?
It is a possibility. It looks pretty spicy. Like AR free mod or the 2 first hidden maps are some of the more spicy maps in this poll. They are going for the Kreuz, the stream map. Sure, I think this map definitely has the potential for a few FCs and high combos.
They're going to sub out Saku. I mean, I wouldn't normally shout it out only 2 maps in, but you know, he FC'd 2 maps. I mean, that's an insane start to a semi-finals map pool. Like, jeez. But obviously not feeling high BPM streams. 210 BPM. We're past Blue Zenith. We're on our way to Freedom Dive. But as you mentioned, map by Kreuz, if the Mappa doesn't give anything away. This map is just full of streams from start to finish. Comparing this to Aragami from the week before, what's the differences we're going to see in this map compared to that one?
So this one is like, I'm not entirely sure why they're picking it. It might be one of the most straightforward maps. I think it might even be a little bit more straightforward than the consistency map we just saw, because that one had some disgusting patterns, right? This one is really structured and just streaming. And if you're able to just hit the streams, the structure and the patterns shouldn't give you too much of a trouble. There's just one part which might be a bit of a hit or miss for some people, which is the 1/3 part. And if you hit that one, and you're pretty confident on the streams, I think we can definitely see a few Cs. But that's probably gonna be a part where some people might get really nervous, because it's, you know, you expect a bunch of 210 BPM streams, you stream and you get good accuracy, and suddenly 1/3 part comes around. You have to change your timing just slightly, and suddenly it's really spaced for a short part. If you can alternate properly, you shouldn't have too many problems here, but you know, it still is something to look out for.
Yeah, and it's also not a linear 1/3 stream, is it? It kind of bends in and out on itself, so you actually have to really focus your aim on it. It's like the only aim real heavy element of the map. There's a couple of jumps in the later half, I think, but we don't think we'll see players fail here. We might see a lot of accuracy tanks, and the final bit of the map is just this very stacked, I guess you'd call it a death stream.
Yeah, it's around 30 nodes of our death stream. They're definitely one of these definitions which are on the fence between a stream and a death stream, because, you know, I mean, I think the last map which we just saw, the consistency map, did have a death stream. I think it was like a 60 node stream.
Wow.
Which is pretty funny, having the longest stream out of the stream picks. But this one has more frequent streams, thus it is the stream map.
Here we go then, map number 3, Leafs Paraclete. Picked by Hong Kong, but a pick that can easily go either way.
I'm also not entirely sure which team is favored here. I'd say this also will come down to execution. And the execution already missing a little bit on the Hong Kong side, 2 people missing early on. Also another miss by Sane on the Taiwanese side.
Give the chance of fingers to warm up, but I think so far just been slight aim issues at the start or end of streams. Break from Riser will level the full combos. Here come the 1-3s. Breaks from Zane and Gid. Skyways as well. And shield drops on the 1-3 section is so tricky.
Oh, Noriko. All the guys holding strong here.
Really surprised to only see 1 full combo to this point. I mean, this is semi-finals and the maps are hard, but we're seeing a lot of inconsistency across the board. But that FC from Shiina Narco, as you mentioned, is going to be huge for Taiwan, and they're really starting to pull ahead in terms of score. Rise are the only player above 99% as well.
That's exactly what you need, and next to Shiina Narco, you also have a bunch of Taiwanese players who I think have more score than their Hong Kong counterpart. And they're running away with it right now.
Yeah, there's a fairly short map with just over 2 minutes. Oh, there drops Shiina. He misses the entire stream. It's like a bit of over-aim, but I think they've done enough damage here, Taiwan, to secure this point. You need a full-way drop and shield now also with a 600 combo. Hong Kong do have the combo advantage across the board, and the score will slowly start to pull back towards them, but there goes Haikul. That was one of the Hong Kong's combo, and shield now taking on Chaos Blitz with a 300k advantage in terms of the team score. Into the final section, we're going to see the death stream come in here, and this will be first point for Taiwan. No disasters there for Taiwan, and they do get themselves on the board. as you said, this point could have gone either way, and it just comes down to those combos. That 1-3 section really killed combos. I did not expect that to be so painful.
Yeah, it was pretty much just the execution from the Taiwanese side, which was there a little bit more than on the Hong Kong side. I mean, if one or two people held through those 1/3 parts, which is possible, like I'm sure in a lot of practice matches they definitely held through that, but they didn't, and they lost the point for it. That's just the way it is. Sometimes if your execution just is missing on the day of on the day, pretty much the day, then yeah, well, sometimes you're gonna lose points which you don't really expect to lose. But in essence, I think it was 50-50 from the get-go, because, you know, Taiwan isn't a pushover. Alright, but now we'll get back to Taiwan and what they're gonna pick.
Yeah, Ryza got himself an S rank, which is unfortunate because it means his slider broke in the middle of the map. But yeah, definitely MVP there for Shield. He had that really unfortunate break section that was, you know, costly, but Taiwan will be happy to get themselves their first point in this match. And where do you think they go now?
I hope Taiwan doesn't lose confidence because of picking the generic no mod and it's just completely failing in execution. I think they still, like, it was a good pick in theory, but they just didn't perform, and I hope they're not losing confidence and thinking that that's gonna be their weakness. They are going for something more spicy, which is the CS circle size 6.5 map, so this one has really small circles. Gotta have really good aim control for this one. I guess that's one way to branch out. It's not a bad pick, but we do have a bunch of people in Hong Kong who are pretty good at Harvard, but you know, in essence, I'd still say Taiwan is favored on this map, but you know, Hong Kong has shown us otherwise when it comes to the day.
Yeah, one thing to mention about this map in particular was the HP had to be edited due to having quite a high drain. So why we see in the bottom right of the screen it says OWC version, it's because the HP was lowered to 85 just to ensure there wasn't that insanely high fail potential from actually full comboing the map.
Yeah, this was an oopsie. That was a very interesting week. It was just an oversight because it was just a bad week in general. So this one is uploaded with data. There's a ranked version out there, so if you wanna play that one, check it out, go for it. But the drain is just a bit too much for a tournament where you can FC and still die, and that's not a good feeling. Absolutely not. But yeah, this one is gonna start out with some 1/3 notes, which we saw both of these teams seem to love, and and then it'll start just, you know, being a decent all-around difficulty map. A few streams here and there burst. It's mostly the circle size 6.5 element, the beginning being the spicier part.
Yeah, in comparison to CS 6.5 maps from previous weeks, this one has a much higher BPM and flows much more like a full-on map. Where a lot of the other CS 6.5 maps have been a bit stop-starty. So in terms of actually playing it, it feels very comfortable, but as you mentioned, the aim element from CS 6.5 and these 1/3s are already causing problems. Yeah, that's going to be the true difficulty in this map.
If it were the old HP drain, Haikul would have died already and could never revive because he missed 2 times. So that's unlucky. But things are looking pretty well, everyone is staying alive, and well, that is good, and Taiwan is just having the better combos right now.
Yeah, again on the fairly short side, only 1 minute 40 this map, and we've seen misses all over the board. But Taiwan with still 2 full combos, Flask and Zane are holding their own. Zane with really decent accuracy. And they've already built themselves up a sizable score lead. Into the final section of the map we go. As you mentioned, this was a strong pick for Taiwan, and they've really proved that.
It is one way to branch out, and if you just look at it mechanically, it is a tough map because you have to have really good aim for CS Circle Size 6.5. Few lost streams and as a fail by Haiku, I believe.
Yeah, definitely tanked out at the end. Unfortunate fail from him, but a 1.3 million point lead. Taiwan will get themselves to bring the score level. We're back to 2-2. Blask with the perfect, Riser with the perfect. One miss from Zane. That is a dominant performance from Taiwan. A complete mirror of the first map we saw where Hong Kong crushed. Sorry, not the first map, the second. So we've completely flipped the motivation. We're back and reset.
I mean, two people are seeing, one guy almost is seeing on the Taiwanese side. This is pretty much their best performance on the map yet. Hong Kong has to respond. I think good chances are either on the first two hiddens, but I think only Chaos Blitz and two others are just, there's gonna be a 2-man or 3-man lineup for it, but not like a really good 4-man lineup. It's a tough case for Hong Kong. They might go for the Approach 8 for Fremont map.
Yeah, the Forest Piara map I think would be a pretty good pick for them. But then again, Taiwan can just hard rock it, so CS 6.5 we've just seen that they're very dominant on. So if they just put a few of their players on hard rock, it might be quite comfortable for them.
Yeah, I don't think Hong Kong is going to branch out to DT. Like, I don't think they're gonna play double time maps. I'm not sure what hard rock maps either. Yeah, they're going for free mod. Like hard rock and double time just seems like a bad choice for Hong Kong.
Yeah,
Blank is also one of the most spicy maps in this one.
I think everybody knows this map. It's just in terms of high BPM playstyle, it speeds up into the second half. All about that finger control. You think we'll see many players single tap this?
I think it's definitely possible, but we do have a lot of people who are really good at alternating too, like Chaos Blitz.
Yeah, I know if this was me, I'd single tap it. So much fun to single tap, but I just don't have the stamina. We're going to see that. For me, the hardest part of this map has always been the ending, where the map appears to slow down, but the speed of the single taps, or I guess the notes, is exactly the same. It remains to be linear. So you can really catch you off guard, but I expect all these players, you know, they've all played the map before, they've all practiced, I'm sure. So
Yeah.
they'll be fully aware of that. It's just so easy to miss due to the high nature of the BPM. You know, you're aiming these star patterns very quickly, very easy just to slightly miss aim and miss.
And also this one being free mod, it will force two people in each side, on each side to actually go for a mod, either hard rock or hidden. I think hidden is gonna be the more obvious case here to pick, because hard rocking this one is gonna make the overall difficulty shoot up to 10, and on a speedy pick, you need to be really fast if you wanna assess and just perfectly play some of these faster patterns. And I think it's also being approached at 9.5 means it's a comfortable approach rate, and you don't need hard rock to increase it to get it to a comfortable position. I think we'll probably see just 2 times hidden on both sides.
We have seen a fairly good number of hard rock plays over the last week on players practicing this pool. But as you said, when it comes to a tournament, you know, everything can change. The nerves that you get and the adrenaline from just being in the match can really, really knock your confidence maybe. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a hard rock for Taiwan, but I think Hong Kong might stick with, as you said, double hidden.
Yeah, Hong Kong's double hidden definitely seems possible. I think if Taiwan doesn't have too much of a mind block of having a second player on hidden here, I think they should also go double hidden.
Play it safe.
Yeah, that's a 4-man hidden.
Wow, I love how the hidden's arranged. It's like bottom left, top, like up and down. That's so
yeah, we're
satisfying.
alternating between all of these. At least if we don't have everyone single tapping, we do have some alternating patterns on the screen. Yeah, this one being pretty fast, 263 BPM. There are some timing changes. The beginning is a bit slower. You just have a bunch of bursts, a bunch of single taps. The ending gets more intense, and that's gonna be the part to look out for.
Yeah, when you say the first bit slower, it's still 263 BPM. This map does not relax. I'm going to see an early break from Sheena on the first little intense section. Go into some linear single taps here. The last couple of patterns get a bit more spaced. Potentials for miss there. And it's just Sheena who's finding some inconsistency, giving Hong Kong the early lead. Breaking on that mod combo as well, more costly in terms of team score.
It's a solid lead for Hong Kong right now, but they need to hold it because it's only 200,000 points. But never mind, actually, I just missed 2 huge combo drops. Shield and GF. Oh my god, this is really bad for the Taiwanese side.
Yeah, we're into the speed up now. 280 BPM coming through. Gids drops the full combo, but it's 3 versus 1. Actually, MCY dropped as well. And there goes Saku, so it's just Chaos Blitz versus Zane. And Zane has the accuracy advantage.
But they've got a solid 300,000 points lead. I mean, Zane also missing right now, so that's gonna give Chaos Blitz the highest combo, and there's no comeback potential. Except if someone dies, and I don't think it will happen.
Yeah, really hard to happen, but a hidden combo might just miss up and slip up and drop a load of nodes for MCY, dropping a load of act. Was he going to fail? No, he gets it back. And Hong Kong will take their 3rd point, Speed of Link.
And
Short
that's
bursty.
almost a C by Chaos Blitz.
Yeah, breaks 2,000 combo, but can't hold on. It's with the slider break, and same with Zane. I mean, Zane's accuracy as well, excellent, 99.14. Unfortunate stuff. Could that full combo have turned it? Let's see if he gets, let's see if he gets high 900,000s. No, it wouldn't have mattered. He would have needed another player to have a higher combo as well.
It would have been a bit too close. Like, if you just look at the Hong Kong side, you have MCY outperforming Sheen and Oracle. You have on Hong Kong always one player who's always outperforming another one on the Taiwanese side. So Zane would have had to get a lot of points if he wanted to carry this one single-handedly.
I feel these kind of odd picks are working out well for Hong Kong so far. These slightly less generic maps. I say that, they did win the no mod consistency, Jumpman.
Yeah, that one was just up in the air, really.
It was.
And it looks a lot more one-sided than it should have been or would be, usually. No idea, Taiwan going for another hard rock map, Onokan K8107.
This is such an interesting map. Eevee's hand is extra.
Oh yeah, this is straightforward, just streams, some kick sliders. You have to pay attention a little bit to the rhythm and the pattern placement, but it should be not too terribly difficult if you practice the map.
When this map was revealed in map pool, there was not a single full combo FC on the leaderboards. Oh, it's been fixed since then. We see 3 players hitting that perfect mark.
Yeah, I'm
for
sure
the UK,
there are
let's wait for the US and Dust Dice for the German side, or obviously with Hard Rock.
yeah, they just want to flex there. I think there's a lot of hard rock SCs currently, but they're mostly done on Score V2 right now because of practicing for the tournament.
Yeah.
Like, even if they were missing a lot of hard rock FCs, the map isn't so difficult that it's just impossible to play on hard rock. It just wasn't a popular map, because the highest difficulty in this map set is gonna be the focus of players.
Yeah, exactly. They're newly ranked in October, so not much time for branching out throughout the, as you mentioned, the difficulty versions. But this map, as you mentioned, all about streams. It's one of those maps that isn't so much about testing sort of burst streams, it's just your stream stamina. It'll just be constant streams thrown at you with like slight jumps between them. There's an awkward rhythm change section in the second half, around 2/3 into the map. But it's very short and it's mostly a couple of sliders. So I wouldn't really expect guys to break on it.
Well, there's also like 4 free nodes of just 1/3. So getting the favorite 1/3 parts, which people apparently really love right now because they keep working on it.
Yeah, they're like, I love this so much, let me just miss.
Yeah, where they're just taken in by the sheer amount of complex rhythm in this aim game. So they're just going for it. Like, oh my god, is this rhythm? And that's a lot of early misses by Sane. And a lot of accuracy drop in the beginning right now from all of the players.
Yeah, apologies for the little bit of lag you might be seeing on your screen, but hopefully we can get that resolved. But it's not going to be affecting the players. As you mentioned earlier, inconsistencies from Zane and high call drops as well.
I mean, I think it's gonna be a good pick for Taiwan. I mean, just this one being hard rock. I don't think Hong Kong just doesn't have this solid form and lineup, but
it's the accuracies, man. Look at them.
I don't expect Gitz to get an 82%, to be honest. Like, I think he mistimed the map, or he's just nervous.
Yeah, that's extremely low. Chaos Lit's low, 98%. Complete flip side. He's doing what he can to try and make up, and if Hong Kong can recover their accuracy, there is a potential for them to come back here. But with Gitz dropping and Chaos Lit's dropping again,
it's a really short map.
It is, and Taiwan has 2 full combos, Riser and Flask, and they all have fairly decent accuracies to boot, at least around 95% or above. Gitz just really struggling. Dieways drops again. Now is the full combo for Hong Kong.
It's a landslide, because Taiwan has the combo and the accuracy advantage, and the accuracy advantage is actually huge.
Blasters drop. Riser the only full combo left. Into the final section. Can he lock out the SE? He cannot. No full combos this time, but as you mentioned, dominant for Taiwan.
Yeah, Gitz is not happy with that performance, as you can see by his use of smoke. Getting 3-digit 100s. I think this is a not unexpected performance by him. Just a bad run, I'd say.
I think all of them will be slightly disappointed. Maybe even Chaos Sluts, because, you know, he didn't full combo. He only slider broke. But overall, solid pick for Taiwan. They knew what they were doing, and they executed it better.
Yeah, Hard Rock and potentially Double Time is gonna be Taiwan's playing ground, I feel.
Yeah, seeing 3 Bs is never a good sign for your team.
No, B just stands for better. I think Hong Kong still has really good chances here.
Oh, definitely.
I don't want to go into what A stands for. just too many negative words popping up. But we do
I think you mean it stands for awesome.
Awesome, yeah, right. They're awesome.
S for super.
Oh yeah, that's
and double S for sensational.
No, those are some really wholesome definitions of those words. That's a lot more positive than I think. Oh, and this is Boss Rush. Alright, it's one of the non-standard picks. Boss Rush having just a bunch of jump streams, kick sliders to look out for. Solid map overall.
Yeah, this is probably one of the best songs in this map pool in terms of just raw, like, hype. Another fairly short one though, just over 2 minutes long, and you mentioned the technical element, there's loads of kick sliders and everything. A couple of cut streams throughout as well. I think I would give this to Hong Kong. If they can hold their nerve, they can definitely keep combos on this. They have a lot of good players, this kind of stuff. I expect Chaos Lit to do excellent on this. But I would never count Taiwan out. We've seen almost every map be super one-sided, but almost unexpectedly. So you can almost expect anyone to win this.
Yeah, I agree on that sentiment. This one's gonna be up in the air. Well, this is more balanced in terms of chances for both teams as the Hard Rock picks are.
Yeah, this is a very, I want to say unknown map set of this map. I'd never heard of it when I saw it in the pool, and I was like, whoa, there's another one of it? There's loads of Boss Rush map sets.
Oh yeah, it was so maps. There's just so many map sets and just songs out of this one. So many unranked ones, so many love, ranked. It's everywhere really. It's a popular artist.
And as you mentioned, this isn't the top diff of the map, so a lot of these players, if they have played the set, probably played the top diff for this relatively unknown territory for them. Hope they got their practice in.
Yeah, usually as a really good player, you don't play the lower difficulties. I mean, I have to admit, I admit doing the same. Because usually you remember maps by the top diff and how spicy it is. And you never really try to go for the second diff because why would you really? I mean, try to FC the hardest map, right? You want to get better at this game. But sometimes the second or third diffs are still pretty difficult and are really good maps on their own.
And it's a perfect example of that.
I was also actually surprised that this map is pretty good because Starter suggested it, and I was surprised. Hey, there's a lower difficulty and it's actually really, really good. Let's put it in. Alright, 190 BPM, not too fast, not too slow. Element's gonna be more the technical parts, some early misses.
Triple drop from Hong Kong.
Yeah, the entire Hong Kong side is gonna drop here and everyone on Taiwan is holding strong. Execution isn't there for Hong Kong.
That's really rough.
Complete mirror for the consistency matchup on the normals before. This time it's Hong Kong side.
Into the breakdown, so a lot of drops from Taiwan. Flask and Rise are only the ones holding on, but 2 more breaks for Hong Kong. As we said, short map. Like, these breaks are costly. I already see a score lead of over 200,000 for Taiwan. Chaos Litz and Saku rebuilding their combos, but currently they're facing up against 2 FCs and slowly going to be put to bed by Taiwan. There goes Flask though, and Rise are the only one surviving for Taiwan. Chaos Litz exceptionally good accuracy, 99 plus, as expected of a man of this caliber.
Yeah, they need more than just Chaos Litz's accuracy to win this one. They need a lot of combos from Hong Kong holding strong and Taiwan to miss.
And there goes Rise's full combo.
There is a chance, but it's gonna be really close.
There's not enough time. I mean, Chaos Litz and Saku have the combos, but Shield and Zane have recovered nicely as well. They're at 500 each.
Yeah, they're just able to combat the increasing combos from the Hong Kong side.
Oh, Skyways! No, he survives. He manages to hold on. He doesn't fail. But their team did, because they did not win. And Taiwan will get themselves a 4th point. A backfire again. We've seen it a lot.
Well, it was a pretty even, balanced out pick, so it could have gone either way. Sometimes you just have to take the 50-50s and believe in execution on that single pick.
Blast with the 99.6. Slider break. Unfortunate for him. Really good accuracy on Chaos Litz as well. Do you think Taiwan dive into double time now? It's been untouched so far, obviously, other than banned.
I mean, they're still full moon up, but maybe they're just having PTSD still from the Nomad map, which was similar.
Go for the 3-for-3 harder up wins.
Yeah, I still think full moon is gonna be a solid choice for them. I don't think they will go for the Necromancer Master Nomad map because that's just alternate, and you've seen what Chaos Litz can do on this.
Indeed. Yeah, I think I agree. Full moon definitely in their playbook. I'd like to see them maybe go for True Theory of Inheritance.
Yeah, I think it's most likely going to be Hard Work or Double Time, maybe Mischievous of Alice on free mod if you really want to go for it, but that's, I think, unlikely.
I think the question is do they want to play 10.3, because that will limit if they pick Felt Story, which is the AR 10.3 map.
Yeah, they're going to have to get 3 points to win this, right? So if you look at potentially, like if you look at Hard Rock and Double Time as sure wins, that's exactly 3 maps. But now the question is, can Taiwan play some of these? I think they definitely can. I think they're gonna be better than Hong Kong on at least 2, I'm pretty sure. I'm at 10.31. Chaos Litz not really known to be the best 10.3 player, but if you practice enough, you should be pretty decently on it.
I think the big question is that we can come up with all these picks for Taiwan. Is there anything you can see for Hong Kong other than, I guess, AR8 hidden?
Everything else.
Everything else
Which is not hard rock and double time. That's the only way you can go for the 50-50s. You don't go double time, you don't go harder, you go for the Nekomata Master, you go for the Forest Pyro free mod map. And that's what you try, you just try.
Oh, they are going to go with Full Moon. It's one we expected. And I guess they pick it now because they might not know what else to go for. They took a bit of time thinking about it.
Maybe they already decided, but someone just didn't write it in chat. Because they responded pretty quickly after getting asked about it again. But yeah, this one, the first hard rock, is gonna be the consistency hard rock pick. Pretty generic. Jumps, and a few streams of jumps. That's the map in a nutshell. But I think it might have even more jump focus than the last map on Nomad, the consistency one.
I think this has bigger diff spikes.
Yeah.
There's a lot more standard consistency throughout this. Obviously, the hard rock being the difficult element of the map.
It's also gonna be 190 BPM, 3 minutes of a map. The OD is 10, so don't let yourself get fooled by that. It's also pretty difficult. 6.8 stars.
Yeah, I think this is maybe, you know, it's that genre of music which you either love or hate. I think Dreamcatcher do K-pop very well. It kind of is like the oral cigarettes of Japanese music for me. It's the kind of stuff that I can actually bear to listen to. There's a lot worse, let's put it that way.
Yeah. Oh, one miss coming in from high cool. And the jumps are gonna start. At the end of each KI time, each chorus, there's gonna be some of the higher jumps. Just bigger jumps, high spacing. And that's the chorus ending. We see jumps and we see a stream and a few misses. Gets a missing shield missing.
Yeah, 3 combos, play 2. Taiwan with the advantage on that break from high call. Going to a bit of a slower section now. Act drops will be expected, as you mentioned, only 10. Overall though, very low accuracies, nothing over 97.
Most people are gonna focus on seeing and holding a combo here.
Yes, Swarby 2 is still a combo game, even if it's only 70% of your score, with the other 30% being made up from your accuracies. Taiwan find themselves with an early lead, halfway into this map now.
Wait, Rizzo missed, so that is gonna be a huge problem right now. But we are in the chorus, so that means high spacing and just tough patterns. I'm not gonna be surprised if Hong Kong has one player missing here now, because this is another one of the high jumps and 3 people from Hong Kong missing.
Also only Flask. Yeah, Flask drops to Taiwan, and that's a big swing in momentum. Taiwan going into another slower section, finding themselves back out in front. They already had a good score lead, and that's just going to continue to build now.
I was expecting a bunch of misses, but not 3 misses at the same time from Hong Kong. That's just unlucky timing right now, because that would have maybe given them the chance to come back on this pick. But if Zane misses, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be too doable for Hong Kong. I think this is the nail in the coffin right now.
Yeah, it's only a slither of map left. This is definitely Taiwan's 5th point.
Another one of the jump patterns. What's happening? Haikul actually is going to fail this one out. Missed a few too many times, but it doesn't make a huge difference in the end.
No, this was Taiwan's from the beginning. As we said, this was a strong pick for them, and they lock it down.
Last minute miss by Sane. 9 combos away from the
FC.
FC.
Man.
Chaos Litz is going to FC this one. For perfect, so he didn't drop any slide ends.
Chaos Litz proving he deserves to be amongst the best. despite his 4-digit rank, which is definitely true. Definitely a 4-digit player.
Yes, he's one of the better sandbaggers out there.
We've never used that term.
Oh, I mean, connoisseur of unranked maps.
Yep, he just loves his unranked.
It's just the way he rolls.
Alright, pick to Hong Kong, and if they lose this one, Taiwan are on to match point. I think, as you said, Nakamata Master might be a good pick for them, or potentially the AR8 free mod, and I think if they're going to pick the AR8 free mod, the Forest Piero map, it's now, right? Because this is potentially your last pick of the match.
Yeah, I'd either go for Nakamata Master or the Forest Piero map. That's the only two options I really see. Maybe well, actually Hidden is still open. Either the second Hidden is gonna be really spicy. I'd love to see one of those two Hiddens either.
I expect we'll see almost a repeat of seeding with a couple of players doing excellently and a whole lot of people not doing so great. That's a really tricky map.
The only problem I see why Hong Kong I don't think has a huge advantage in this current match is because if you take away some of the picks they've already gone for, what do they have left? They don't have a solid form and lineup on Rocket or the other Hidden. They don't have a solid form and lineup on the Nakamata Master map. You only see and expect Chaos to perform on it. But who else? You have Sakura maybe supporting him, but there's probably not gonna be too many FCs. If anyone's gonna see Chaos, is gonna probably see it, because alternating is his name of the game. And Hidden is the same thing, like he doesn't have a solid form and lineup for it.
Well, they're gonna have to make one, because we are gonna see Rocket. They're gonna disregard everything we said and go for a map, but we didn't really expect either team to be wanting to play it.
Yeah, I completely forgot that the Hidden pool is open, so I just focused too much on Forest Piero and the Nakamata Master map. But
I think for good reason. I think for good reason. I think those maps are more to the Hong Kong skill set than the Taiwanese skill set. I think Taiwan have performed pretty well across the board in Hidden this tournament. And this is a fairly, I want to say, more standardish Hidden map. It's kind of a streamflow map. You have a lot of broken patterns, which is where the hidden difficulty element comes in. But I think Chaos, as you have said, will perform well on this. It's just whether or not you can put 3 other people next to him that will do the same.
Yeah, this one's just a spicy map overall. Like, I don't dislike the pick for Hong Kong. I do not dislike it. The other Hidden map would also be pretty fine, but that one would be more focused on just a lot more misses, because it's really challenging rhythmically. This one is just spicy in terms of patterns, not in terms of rhythm. You still have to have some kind of rhythm sense and good accuracy to properly play these patterns, but it's you don't have to adjust yourself 24/7. I think this one you can almost say is the technical pick of the Hidden pool.
Mm.
Getting some sliders, some jump streams, spicy patterns all around. Hidden not making this any easier. And 2 minutes, right? Yeah, that's the one.
The theme throughout this map pool was short, intense maps, which is great for hype. Not great for Saku. Finds an early miss.
Yeah, because that's gonna lose him a lot of combo, and thus it's gonna lose him a lot of points.
Ryzer does reply though, and it's 2 of them breaking consistently at the moment. A lot more breaks to come. And there goes Gids and MCY.
I think I'd take the trade of Sakura and Riza any day of the week. But Hong Kong has been trading too many times, and they're getting really bad trade deals. Those are the worst trade deals in the history of O's right now, because Chaos Blitz is the only one holding. Hong Kong trying their best, but
there's only Flask. Only Flask remaining for Taiwan. GF, MRT, and Ryzer both dropped. Oh, Bashina holds strong. I thought he missed. I'm blind. Okay, there we go. I wasn't wrong. He did miss. Nice. That's a pretty rough miss as well. Halfway into the map on the slowdown section. That's just a little slip of the hand there.
There's
They've got an accuracy lead. Ooh, break from Gids as well. That's a rough one.
100,000 points in difference, and the combos are looking good for Kong Kong, but it might change any second.
I think that Gids reset makes it less favorable.
Oh my god, that's a miss!
Gids. And there goes Chaos Blitz! Sheena missed as well, so that they mirrored Saku and Fly, everybody missing.
The playing field has been reset, no combos left, but there's a 100,000 points difference for the Taiwanese side.
God, the second breakdown section just killed everybody. And the score is so close, but it's all Taiwan. They will put themselves onto match point, going up 6-3. I think the big element of this whole match so far has been consistency and the lack of it.
I mean, to be fair, the maps are pretty tough, so...
They're definitely tough, but you're going from Saku, who FC's the first two matches of maps of the match, to 17 misses. That's a big swing. And I know that they're different skill sets, and maybe this isn't your, your preferred skill set, but that is a huge, spiking difference.
Yeah, after this stage and starting from this stage, you definitely see what people are good at and what people are bad at. Like, you can start abusing their weakness. On the earlier pools, where you had some easier maps of the same type of it, you can't really abuse too many people, because even if they have that map as their weakness, just because it's way too easy, they still see it, and thus you can't take advantage of it. But now, you definitely see the problems some of these players on some of the types of maps and the skills that they're lacking. And this is exactly the stage where we saw the really good players from the great players.
No, absolutely a great point, and also where the war-rounded teams come into play, where they have specialists in the mod sets. You have a specialist hidden player who absolutely performs on Rocket, but then he might not be so good at, let's say, Full Moon or Arcanauts. They're not that great at the Hard Rock. And having those specialist players is what takes a good team to become a great team. No, Chaos Blitz, you can't pick Crab Rave. We played it in warm-up, okay? We can't have it twice. It's not even their pick.
Hong Kong is gone, Crab Rave. They're already looking forward to it, apparently.
The Hong Kong is gone? Yeah. That's a nice ring to it, actually. Well, hopefully we won't see that. Hopefully we'll get back to a 6-all and we'll have the tiebreaker played. That would be pretty cool.
This might be the last match Gitz is seeing in the OWC. I mean, he's been standing long in Hong Kong's team. There were a few people already missing from this year's lineup, and now he's quit Wing. All right, I understand. I mean, I've been doing the same. I've been in a lot of OWCs for the Austrian side, but then I didn't. I mean, it is definitely, you have to practice so hard and just so much to keep up with the maps and with the skill sets. And you see Gitz, he's not comfortable with a lot of the maps, like the hidden one. And maybe he's gonna call it a day and just call it his time. Looking forward to potentially the rookies taking over.
New blood's it's always good, right? Having new blood every now and then is always helpful for your team, but it's always sad to see the old players go.
Yeah, but look at Canada. I mean, they have a team full of rookies, and look how far they're coming.
What, you're telling me that Aza isn't so great that he's carrying Canada? Is that what you're trying to tell me right now?
Like, if it were only Aza, they would have already crashed the burn.
Aza is just a great motivator, and he inspires his team to perform.
Yes, that's it. That's definitely it. Like playing United every single time before they have an ODFC match. Just never forget and don't stop believing.
Well, Taiwan gonna delve into that double time pool.
Yeah, that's something to be expected. Probably is going to be the last pick unless something magically happens, I believe.
Yeah, this is a super high BPM double time map, 273 BPM. AR8 with DT though, making it 9.67, so no AR10.
Yeah,
relatively overall really though, it's really fast but pretty straightforward in terms of aim. There's a few longer bursts which at the high BPM can easily cause you to break. Yeah, not a comfortable BPM for a lot of people.
Surprisingly, this is a map where kids should be really good at. But the question is, does he believe in himself right now? Because looking at the chat earlier, doesn't seem like the case.
Or we can ask if he does his best, right? That's what you can do on the day. You get one try.
One opportunity.
He's everything you ever wanted.
Nearly missed by his guy's way, but high call as well.
Those higher BPM bursts really catching out Hong Kong now. And accuracy tanks as well. Gid's the only player over 90% for Hong Kong. Already 150,000 score lead for Taiwan and the match just begun. Again, another fairly short one under the 2-minute mark. Gids will break his full combo as well, so no FCs for Hong Kong. Taiwan saving this pick until right at the end, and it's kind of looking crushing right now.
Yeah, don't trust the stats down below. This is not 1 minute long, otherwise the match would have been long over already. There's still a lot of time left. We're only at the halfway part, and there's gonna be a bunch of time left. But it's I'm not sure about this one. Definitely Taiwan favorite, I'd say.
Just the accuracies alone. I think even if combos were tied, we still see a huge score lead for Taiwan.
Yeah, K-Slit's still trying his best. He's not the best and the fastest player when it comes to these maps, but he still lets his consistency shine and still is able to somehow ring out a combo.
So that score lead's breaking the 1 million mark. It's the final part of the map. I think we're going to be saying goodbye to Hong Kong for this year. You know, these guys have done excellent. They've come from being unseeded. Probably unrealistically so. They were a very strong team. They won their group. They took down the Netherlands, but they cannot topple Taiwan. And they will lock themselves into the next stage. Oh, Hong Kong will go home.
Yeah, with the, I think the most convincing win, or at least lead in this match, or at least one of the more convincing ones at least. Oh man. Yeah, congratulations to Taiwan. Great performance by Sane and by GF. All I can really say, Hong Kong did try their best. They got some really good picks, good performances, but that's just the way it ends for some of the teams.
Yeah, I think Taiwan also one of those teams that we expect to go quite far in the tournament. So a loss here would have probably been an upset. So they'll be happy to move on. They will go on to face the winner of the match later that's happening today, Russia versus Norway. And they will take on the victor of that match. But we have plenty more matches to come this weekend. This was only the first match. Our next match, happening in 35 minutes time, will be the match between Germany and Australia. The matches on your screen, which are a bit grayed out right now, are the conditional matches, hence why there appears to be a lot